Hey guys, on this super day, I am super stoked and super excited about this super piece that just came into the super collection. This is one super prototype of 3. I'm getting 3 different prototype statues within the next few days, which to me is super. So make sure to stay super tuned to the Super Extreme channel to see these super pieces. But today, we're going to look at this custom 1/4 scale Super Boy. Super. As the Extreme channel is pushing towards 50,000 subscribers, these are just a few of the statues we are giving away on the journey there. If you want to know how to win one, stay tuned for later in the video. Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the Extreme channel. My name is Mr. X, and today we're looking at a custom statue. So a custom means it was a private, unlicensed commission. They only made a few of these. We're going to go over all that data later. And this is a modern twist on Superboy. And to let the Superboy out of the bag, I am extremely, that was pretty corny. To let the cat out of the bag, well, I wouldn't let the cat out of the bag either, let's be honest. I fucking hate cats. But this is a pretty phenomenal piece. I'm pretty stoked to have it. And after I actually review it, I believe I'm sending it to the biggest Superman collector in the world, Super Stewart. So today we're going to do an in-depth review of this piece. We're going to look at paint, sculpt, all that good stuff. Before we dive into all that, let's talk a little bit about Superboy. So there's a lot of variations of Superboy in DC Comics. Superboy is sometimes affiliated with Clark Kent when he was young. Then there is Superboy Kon-El, who is kind of like a clone with human DNA, and he's Clark's cousin, Connor Kent. And then, of course, most recently, we have Jonathan Kent, who is Superman's son with Lois Lane, who's part of the Super Sons. And he fights crime with Damian Wayne, Batman's son. I'm not a huge Superboy fan. I'm a huge Superman fan, because if you don't like Superman, get the hell out of here. Now, I believe this is supposed to be a representation of the middle one, Connor Kent. And I'm not 100% sure of that, but I'm just guessing based off of some of the things I see. If you know, go ahead and put a comment below letting everybody else know, and I'll pin it to the top. But nonetheless, super stoked. I think this is a fantastic piece. And kind of a heads up on this, I didn't buy this piece. I'm tempted now if there's any available. I actually may buy this one. I don't get anything for reviewing it other than the chance to review it. When I get most of these prototypes, that's all it is. Every once in a while, one of the ones coming up this week actually is one that I actually purchased. But I might actually want a production piece of this if I can find a spot for it, because I'm pretty impressed. But let's see why. Let's first dive into concept of this piece. The concept is where this piece is extremely powerful, not taking away from anything else we're going to look at. And let me explain that. And if you're a millennial and you're about to take offense to what I'm about to say, then everything I'm about to say is probably justified. But so he's clearly on the moon here. Not only is he on the moon, but as you see, he carved his name into the side. Superboy was here. That's so something I would do, even though I'm not a millennial. Mr. X was here. And he is lounging on the moon. Not only lounging on the moon, but he's in this very modernized outfit. A little bit of a punk outfit, still the traditional Superman colors, the Superman symbols. He has a leather jacket on, and he is throwing up a peace sign. He is taking a selfie with an awesome smile on his face. You can see the American flag they planted on the moon in the background. And one of the things you see right here, he has some sunglasses on the top of his head, which we'll talk about in a second. I love it. I love the fun nature this captures of Superboy. Taking a selfie, throwing up a peace sign, peeing on his territory. So I think the concept is fantastic. I absolutely love it. Big fan. I think the concept's a 5 out of 5. I think they knocked it out of the park. Now design, there's not a lot to this, but they did some really smart things. So first, here is the unboxing and the assembly. So keep in mind, this box and the packaging is for the prototype. It may alter with the final product, and we're actually going to talk about how the size of the final product will be a little bit different. But you see here are the pieces, and this has been shipped to multiple people, including a professional painter. And then the base was the bottom layer here. But I think it's very smart that they made the boots a separate piece so they don't have to worry about breakages because it is an odd shape. Same thing with the modernized spit curl at the front. Now, I said the sunglasses were broken. Here's a picture of that. And the bad part of this is there's actually grooves or keys in his head that the sunglasses sit in. Now, if you don't want to display the sunglasses, you're still going to see those grooves or keys. But I think the sunglasses really add a lot to it. So here's a picture of him without the sunglasses. And keep in mind, you'd be able to see those grooves. And here's a picture with the sunglasses. So I think the sunglasses make him more modernized and tell the story a little bit more. So I definitely keep those. Now, one thing, and I don't know if it's because of the prototype, but the cell phone is blank. So after filming, I found out from the commissioner that this is the decal they're putting on the cell phone, which I think is awesome. Kind of see the space in the background for the selfie. But otherwise, there's no other switch outs. And honestly, I don't think there needs to be because I don't know what they would be. But I think I would do this portrait. I think I would do him doing the selfie. I think it's done perfectly. So this is a 1/4 scale piece. The prototype was printed a little bit too big. You'll see that in the measurements we're about to do. But these are going to be the actual dimensions. Now let's grab the dimensions because there is one thing that's kind of glaring on this. The widest point, or deepest point, depending on how you want to look at it, is a little over 20 inches. The widest point is probably about 11.5, and then the tallest point is the American flag, which you technically could remove. That's at 23.5 inches, and Superboy is right at 20. But I think the American flag adds to it, and there would be a small hole as well where it goes in. The one thing I'm curious about, and it might be more of a sculpt thing, is how long his leg is. Let's do a measurement on that. So his leg to his waist is about, or the top of his butt is about 14 inches. And then to the top of his head is about 10 inches. So it's about 1.4 to 1. So let's see how that works with Mr. X. Alright, that's about 30. And then yes, I have pants on today. When I review other people's pieces, I keep pants on. And that is 40. So honestly, it's not too much. I personally am 1.35. This is 1.4 from my legs with my torso, and everyone's legs or torso are different. So it must just be the position that he's in that really makes it look a little bit longer. So I think it is accurate. Everything on here is fully sculpted, which I like. I wouldn't have liked mixed media. I think the flag looks great. His jacket, how it's kind of flowing out. But I think design, you know, the glasses were broken. If they figure out a way to make sure the future ones don't break, which I'm sure they will, I think the design is a 4 out of 5. The only reason I wouldn't give it 5 out of 5 is because sometimes it's nice to have switch outs. Although, like I said, I think the ones that it has are fantastic. But let's look at the paint and sculpt of this piece. And keep in mind this is professionally painted. And the goal of the factory is to make it look exactly like this. And sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But let's dive in. So as we dive in, one of the things I like is, I don't want to call them Easter eggs, but so much in the details. So I love the color they chose for the paint on the base. I think it looks great, very moonish. The craters look awesome, some small ones here, some giant ones. Then they have what I assume are some type of tracks from maybe some of the moon landing equipment. And then a sign down here, and this may be another tie to Superboy I'm unfamiliar with, but I think the base looks great. The sculpt of it, and then how they carved in Superboy was here. Just another fantastic addition. Probably the weakest part of this is the flag, and thankfully it's behind him. So the paint's a little messy on the pole, as you see right here, which it's incredibly clean everywhere else on the statue, other than the pole and the flag. Some of the stars here just aren't the best. I think the wave is nice, but I think the size of the stripes go up and down a little bit too much. Which, it's kind of an afterthought. This is kind of what you're looking at. So let's look at Superman. I love the choice of colors. Like I said, it really makes them pop. The black on gold, on red, on blue. I love the choice of gold that they used. Very different. Now, it's shining much more in the camera than it does in real life. And I kind of like both. But I think they did a great job with the anatomy. They didn't roid him out too much. There's some small details like stitching and texturing on the suit here. He has these knee pads, and I think, I might be wrong, I think they may be removing those knee pads on the end products. Little pouch, not sure what he keeps there, but maybe his cell phone. I mean, if you think about it, they gotta keep their cell phone somewhere, right? They didn't overemphasize this package, because he probably already has a pretty big complex. Great job on the belt and the accessories. Now on these two, I think the detail of the paint and sculpt is done really well, but I have seen better, so I wouldn't call it best of the best, but it's still really impressive. Like looking at this zipper here. The jacket looks great, especially for a leather sculpted jacket, and then I love the fact the Superman symbol is that gold with an orange color, and it's popping a little bit more on camera than it does in real life. There's some of the straps on his jacket, some spikes on top there. Now on his portrait, I think they did a really nice job. Interesting color they went with the inside of the mouth. I would have wanted a little bit more red color, but I think it contrasts so much red in the statue nicely. And then there's a lot of red shading in his face, but I think it looks good. This is more of not like a realistic take, but or it's more of a comic take. You know, and little details like the earring there, his haircut. Great job with his hair. The phone, I think, like I said, is really impressive. It just sucks it's blank on the other side right now, which may be something they're changing. I like the blue colors. Like I said, just everything overall, very impressive piece. I really need to find a spot in my collection if they have one available. Like I said, really impressed. I love how much the colors pop. I love the base. On the paint, we're gonna start with that. Incredibly clean. I like not only the art direction, but the execution of it. Is definitely a 4 out of 5, possibly a contender for a 5 out of 5. I think some of the stuff on the flag threw me off a little bit. The sculpt, again, I think the flag's a little bit weaker than the rest of the body. Some of the details like the zipper are just really good. They're not amazing. So I think the sculpt's a solid 4 out of 5 as well on this piece. So let's talk about value. Is this going to be worth it? Let's throw up some of the specific stats of this piece on the screen here. I think it gives it a value of 5 out of 5. I mean, with only 40 pieces of a phenomenal piece of a character that's not done very often, and $700, price of a premium format, definitely a good value. So overall, you know, Superboy is a secondary character, so this isn't a 5 out of 5 statue for me. It doesn't have the X factor, but of all the prototypes I've reviewed from this particular custom group, this is by far my favorite. Like I said, I need to find room, not for this one, of course, but and I don't know if they have any production pieces left, but if they do, I might want to look it up because this is pretty cool. Very impressed. Bravo. Really, at least it earns a 4 out of 5. Like I said, very impressive piece. I just love how it pops. Congrats to all who's getting it. We will be giving all of these statues away, plus additional ones at every 5,000 subscriber milestone. To win one of these statues, all you have to do is make sure you've liked this video, you've subscribed to the channel, you've hit that bell notification, and then just drop a comment below. Every 5,000 subscriber milestone, we are going to do a random drawing and pick a random comment and give one of these statues away, plus some additional ones I'm not showing right now. The more videos you comment on, the higher your chances are to win. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope you like this piece as well. Go ahead and let me know in the comments. Give me a like on your way out. Helps you enter that contest. Otherwise, I'll talk to you very soon. Take care.